So I am Trinesha Catrell, and this is the YouTube channel. Of course, for those of you that don't know, I'm an author, an entrepreneur, and a public speaker and life coach. And today I have with me Nicole. So,
So,
Nicole, tell me a little bit about yourself.
so I am Nikki J. Rubies. I am the CEO and owner of Ravishing Rubies Wellness. I am a COVID nurse. I am a community health advocate, and I am a liaison between the hospitals and community centers.
Yes, awesome. That is so cool. So, how is it working in the field?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question. Working in the field is it's not bad. It has its set of challenges. I think majority of the situation is education. Like
Yeah.
everybody needs to be educated.
Okay. And what do you think? So I know you probably get this here and there, maybe since you're a professional, but what do you think the problem with self care is?
So I don't necessarily feel like there's a problem with self-care. I do feel like people feel like they have to spend money or resources for self-care when really you can acclimate and do self-care for free. So I don't think there's a problem with self-care. I think there's a problem with implementing self-care.
Yes, I like that you said implementing self care, and it is so true that you could do a lot of different things for free. What are from a professional perspective? What are some ways that people can implement self care in their lives?
So when implementing self-care, you have to first determine what type of self-care you want.
Okay.
Self-care can be in three different categories. It can be I want mental self-care, I want to
Mhm.
do physical self-care, or I want to do spiritual self-care. First, you have to identify which type you need, and
Okay.
then you can start from there.
Okay. So when it comes to mental self-care, what are some examples of what that would look like?
So it depends on if you're religious or not.
Okay.
Some people will do praying,
Mhm.
fasting, or meditation. If you're not necessarily a religious person, which can improve mental clarity.
Mhm.
For those who aren't religious, but I do hear a lot of people saying praying is probably their number one go-to for
Yes.
mental clarity.
Okay. And you said meditation as well.
Yeah.
So, okay. So meditation for them would how would that look for a normal everyday person that's trying to get into self-care?
So meditation for an everyday person will look like something like you'd have a very serene location.
Okay.
It can even be in the confines of your house. Just make it really quiet.
Okay.
Focus on positive thoughts. And just continue to think upon those things of gratitude, which helped you with your mental clarity.
Okay. I like that. And when it comes to physical, what are some physical self-care things that people can do?
So, physical self care can be as simple as taking a walk.
Okay.
Because in taking a walk, let's just say you go to your basic park. Most of the times, the park is going to have like a pond or something like
Mhm.
that. You can walk around, get that. You can also, view the scenery. That
Yes.
also affects your mental while you're also getting physical. So now you got two in one. So it
Mhm.
doesn't necessarily have to be something that's extremely strenuous. It can be as simple as taking a walk.
Yes, I love that idea. One of the things that I really love to do is to walk down to my beach in the neighborhood. And so when I'm there, it really does help clear my mind, and I do get that physical activity as well. So I think that is an excellent tip. I love that.
Yeah, the beach also provides sound therapy if you're into that sort of
Okay.
thing too, which is for the mind. That would be in
Yes.
the mental component. So, yes, you're just getting all of those
Mhm.
self-care acclimations at once.
Yes. And so you said that the sounds of the ocean can help with mental. Are there some other ways that mentally someone can help
So,
when
sound
they do
therapy is really a big therapy.
that?
White
Okay.
noise is another one.
Okay.
And really depending on how much therapy you need for mental therapy, if none of those things are working and you're still extremely stressed out, that is where a therapist comes in because then you can get to the root problem of what is actually bothering you versus
Yes.
this is just something, this is just stress or this is just anxiety. it could be something really deep down that you need to uproot first.
Yes, and I love that you brought up therapy. I'm definitely a huge proponent of therapy and the Bible. So when
Listen,
it
nobody's too big for a little bit of therapy. You hear me?
Yes, yes, and especially when you just, because I don't know if it's all women or if it's, I feel comfortable saying this, but women of color, sometimes we feel like we have to do everything. We have to be the best. We have to just be able to handle it all on our own, and it's just not true. Nobody handles everything by themselves.
I learned years ago to put my cape down, honey. I
Yes,
will I will go get a massage, get a facial. I am big on self-care, and no, we don't have to tackle everything at one time.
yes.
So I'm a big believer in therapy and self-care therapy as well.
Yes, and I think that's one of the strongest things that any person can do is ask for help when they definitely need it, for sure.
I definitely do agree with that, but you first have to identify that you need it.
Yes, yes,
To
yes,
even say I need help, you got to know that you need it first.
yes.
So, that's definitely something that's internal work that a person has to do, and it usually comes with someone from the outside saying, "Hey, you should probably work on your
Mhm.
anger. You should probably work on your attitude." Then the person normally gets it, but after that, you have to
Yeah.
identify that you even need help to get it.
Yes, that is so true. I think that's one of the things that they say in like one of those group settings where people are seeking help. They say the first thing to do is to acknowledge their problem. So I definitely
Absolutely.
understand that because you're right. If you don't know you have a problem, how can you help
You
yourself?
you just walking in destruction, honey, just
Yes.
walking in destruction.
So you talked a lot about physical and mental self-care. What are some other ways that someone can self-care and implement those things in their lives?
So, I personally love, 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 love journaling.
Yes.
Because it is a great way for me to express my feelings. It may not be something that I need to say to someone, but
Yes.
it gives me the opportunity to at least get it out. It doesn't matter if I'm giving it to someone or not. I've got that out of my body. I've got it out of my system. So I know I'm no longer holding on to it. It no longer
Yes.
has control over me because I've released it. So that is one of the things I love to do. Another one is daily affirmations.
Yes.
I'll look in the mirror. You look good today. You
Yes.
got this. This is your season. I really am big into affirmation and journaling.
Mhm.
So those are, I would have to say, probably my top self-care with addition to physical. Like I said, I love my massages and my facials, but
Oh, yes.
those you can do for free.
Yes.
They don't come with a price tag.
Yes.
So, those are definitely some that I like to do. You can also take a bike ride.
Mhm.
That's something that depending on if you have a bike, is also free. So,
Yes.
um, yeah, physical can also be health,
Mhm.
dieting, or food choices.
Okay.
Making better food choices for your body, implementing a healthy diet can also be a form of self-care as well.
Okay. And how have you seen it help other people by eating healthier and exercising?
Oh man, should we talk about diabetes and heart disease?
Yes, please do.
That's the number one right
Yes,
there. Not
absolutely.
only just diabetes and heart disease, but another thing is stress and hypertension.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know salt intake
Mhm.
increases the blood pressure.
Oh,
So you
wow.
decrease the salt intake, you decrease the blood pressure along with dieting and exercise.
Okay.
You can definitely get rid of high blood pressure pills that way.
Yes, I love that. I had no
Yeah.
idea. Like, that is
Yes.
something that you definitely don't hear too often because
And so another thing is with
Mhm.
that is a cardiac situation we like to call CHF.
Mhm.
It's
And what is that?
a congenital heart failure.
Okay.
There are a lot of African American people
Mhm.
that have this because of high blood pressure first,
Yes.
right? So you
Yes.
have the high blood pressure, you're anxious, you're tired, you're
Mhm.
angry, all of these things going on. So now you're eating. I love soul food. I
Yes.
love it. Let me just say that I love soul food. But the fried foods and the
Mhm.
salt intake that are in some of these foods, like um, neck bones and
Mhm.
black eyed peas, is extremely high.
Yes.
And so where salt is, water also is.
Mhm.
So now you're eating all this salt and you're swelling up and you don't know why because
Mm.
you have a high salt intake. Now you're driving the water that's in your body where the salt is.
Oh,
So now
wow.
you're walking around like a puffer fish for what?
Yeah. Mm.
We don't need it.
Mhm.
We don't need it. It's okay.
Yes.
A good diet is fine for that, as long as
Yes.
it's not to the extreme. So
Mhm.
yes, diet is key as well.
Yes. And so when people are thinking about eating healthy, what is something that you suggest when it comes to seeing a doctor? Like, should they go to a doctor first before they change their diet? Is it something that they can do personally that really won't affect their health too much, or does it depend on what type of health conditions that they have
So
presently?
I would definitely say it depends on the health condition, and here's why.
Okay.
Like if you are let's say you're a kidney patient,
Mhm.
you have a restricted not only salt intake, but a restricted fluid intake that you can only have. So that would be something you definitely need to talk to your doctor about
Okay.
prior to, um, because you don't want to cause additional issues. But if you don't have like major health issues, my standard and the gold standard is usually like a cardiac diet.
Okay.
That's low in salt, vegetables, a
Mhm.
small amount of meat, not a whole lot of carbs. You need a little bit, but
Yeah.
not too much protein is a good thing. So,
Mhm.
usually, a cardiac diet works for pretty much across the board.
Okay. And so when it comes to self-care, dieting or eating well is a good thing, but also are there some drinks that people can drink that helps with self-care? Like something that's soothing, something that may be able to just add to them.
So, I definitely am a big advocate of teas.
Okay.
Healthy herbal teas, though not the ones that, like the Liptons and things like that.
Yes.
Not necessarily those. Those are great. I drink them from time to time,
Mhm.
but I mean herbal teas like the green teas or the
Okay.
chamomile teas, which also have a calming effect to them as well. So those are things you can drink. Also, it's important to have electrolytes. Most
Okay.
people don't know about those either. Those keep the body in balance and homeostasis.
Okay.
And that can be like, let's just say you're doing your physical activity. What are you doing? You're sweating, right?
Mhm.
So the first thing you need to do is replenish your body, which is electrolytes. That can be Pedialyte, that can be Gatorade, that can be Powerade, but you also have to watch the salt intake and the
Okay.
sugar intake with those drinks. So it really just depends on your health and where you are in your journey.
Okay. And I do see that there are like electrolytes in some waters. So is
Yeah.
that a good way to get it as well? And the water that has added electrolytes?
So that's definitely a good way to add your electrolytes. But
Mhm.
however, you have to be careful with those
Okay.
because you don't want it to be imbalanced.
Okay.
The whole purpose of getting the electrolytes is to have enough of it, not to go over the amount.
Okay.
And here's why. So in the electrolytes, you have sodium and you have potassium, which are big in the body. If you have too much potassium,
Mhm.
now you're running the risk of putting yourself in a cardiac situation.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So you want to keep it in a healthy balance where you're not worried about it
Mhm.
so much, especially if you're already in a healthy state.
Yes.
That
Yes, I
makes
like
sense?
that. Yes, absolutely. So finding that
We don't
healthy
wanna
balance.
add any problems, we just wanna be hydrated, that is all.
Yes. I like that. I like that you broke it down for people that don't know, because it is important for us to be able to take care of our health as well as part of self-care. Because sometimes, like you said, they think that it's about spending a bunch of money or doing like spas. That's like the one thing the first thing you think of when you think of self-care, but it's so much more than just that.
Absolutely, you can have a spa at your house, buy some Epsom salt, some Dr. Teal's, the lavender if you like lavender,
Yes.
and pour it in the bottom of the tub and have a vacation all in your tub.
Yes.
Light some candles if that's what you wanna do.
Mhm.
That's a spa, is it not?
Yes,
That's
yes.
self-care.
I love that. Yes. So before we head out, is there anything that you want to give the people, like a highlight of easy, quick tips, tricks, things like that, or something that's significant that stands out that could really help someone, like the huge takeaway from this video?
So, my huge takeaway that I would say for anybody that's struggling with self-care is you only have one body.
Yes.
You only get to do this only but one time. You
Yeah.
wanna make sure that you're taking care of the very best care that you can for yourself. So self-care helps with a number of things. It is a stress reducer, it decreases anxiety, it
Yeah.
promotes mental clarity, it
Mhm.
helps with internal happiness. I mean, those are all things that you need to be successful with your self-care. And again, you only have one body,
Yes.
and it's not worth not taking care of yourself at all for.
Yes. I love that. That is an excellent tip. So for those of the people that are on this channel that watch this video, where's somewhere that they can follow you?
You can follow me on IG or Instagram.
Okay.
Ravishing Rubies Wellness is my name. I will be dropping tips. I'll be putting some of my fitness journey on there because I again, I love the physical self-care. So I'll be on there doing my physical self-care journey with trying out new things to stay healthy and stay fit and keep my body in motion.
Yes, I love that. I'm all for that. And thank you so much for joining me on this video
Absolutely.
tonight. It was such a pleasure having you here.
Good night.
Good night. Don't forget to subscribe and follow
Subscribe to
Nikki.
the channel, please.
Yes,
Thank you.
support us. We definitely wanna help you in any way that we can, so we hope that you remember to take care of your body because like Nikki said, you only have one. Have a good night.
Good night.